Okay, picture this. A leader is about to take on absolute power, and their very first words to the world, they're not about victory or glory, but about deep, profound sorrow. We're going to dive into one of these moments in history and explore a statement that's just as jarring today as it was the moment it was spoken.
Just let that sink in for a second. Tears of blood. I mean, these are not the words you'd ever expect from someone who's just been handed immense power. There's no celebration, no call for unity. It's a phrase that conjures up incredible suffering and sacrifice.
And that's the big question, right? That's the mystery we're going to try to unpack here. What was the meaning? What was the intention behind a choice of words that's so unsettling? To even begin to understand it, we have to go back to the event itself. So, before we can really analyze the words, we have to understand the stage. We need the context for what was happening when he said this. The year is absolutely crucial here, 1989. You have to remember, this wasn't just any old year for Iran. The country was at a really fragile point. The brutal 8-year war with Iraq had just ended, and the founder of the Islamic Republic, Ayatollah Khamenei, had just died, leaving this huge power vacuum. So, in this moment of deep uncertainty and national mourning, Ali Khamenei gets chosen for the most powerful job in the entire country, a role that would end up defining Iran's path for decades. So, who made this huge decision? Well, it was a group called the Assembly of Experts. This wasn't a general election, but a specific council of theologians. And their one single job was this monumental task. And honestly, the choice was pretty controversial. At the time, Khamenei didn't have the senior clerical rank that a lot of people thought was necessary for the job, and that fact just added this whole other layer of tension and seriousness to his appointment. All right, so now that we have that historical anchor, we can go back to the quote itself and really try to pull it apart. What could those words, tears of blood, actually mean? Let's break the phrase right down to its two main ingredients. On one side, you've got tears, which is a universal sign of sorrow, grief, maybe even humility. And then on the other side, you've got blood, a really potent symbol of sacrifice, violence, conflict, and life itself. When you smash them together, you get this image of just ultimate suffering. Is it a sorrow so deep that it actually becomes physical? A kind of grief that actually wounds you? So this opens up a bunch of different ways to look at it. Was this a sign of just incredible humility? Maybe acknowledging his own controversial qualifications for such a massive role? Or was he speaking to the heavy burden that the whole nation was feeling, a country scarred by war and mourning its founder? Some people might even see it as a dark premonition, sort of a warning of the sacrifices and conflicts that were still to come. Or maybe it was just a deep reflection on the tragic history that led to that very moment. There's really no single easy answer here. And so, as we start to wrap this up, what we're left with is the echo of these words. It's a statement that has really reverberated for more than 3 decades now. This brings us right back to the beginning, to the incredible power of a leader's first words. We're looking at the quote one last time, not because we have a definitive answer, but because now we have a much deeper appreciation for its weight and its complexity. In the end, it really leaves us with this provocative question. Was this statement an act of humility, or was it a kind of prophecy? And maybe even bigger than that, what do a leader's first words truly tell us about the entire chapter of history they're about to write? Definitely something to think about.